The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Mission of the Vedanta, an address by Swami Vivekananda to the residents of Kumkodam in 1897, Part 10. I am no preacher of momentary social reform. I am not trying to remedy evils. I only ask you to go forward and to complete the practical realization of the scheme of human progress that has been laid out in the most perfect order by our ancestors. I only ask you to work to realize more and more the Vedantic ideal of the solidarity of man and his inborn divine nature. Had I the time, I would gladly show you how everything we have to do now was laid out by our ancient lawgivers and how they actually anticipated all the different changes that have taken place and are still to take place in our national institutions. They also were breakers of caste, but they were not like our modern men. They did not mean by the breaking of caste that all men, all the people in a city should sit down together to a dinner of beefsteak and champagne, nor that all fools and lunatics in the country should marry when, where, and whom they choose and reduce the country to a lunatic asylum. Nor did they believe that the propensity of a nation is to be gauged by the number of husbands its widows get. I have yet to see such a prosperous nation. The ideal man of our ancestors was the Brahmin. In all our books stands out prominently this ideal of the Brahmin. In Europe, there is my lord the Cardinal, who is struggling hard and spending thousands of pounds to prove the nobility of his ancestors. And he will not be satisfied until he has traced his ancestry to some dreadful tyrant who lived on a hill and watched the people passing by, and whenever he had the opportunity, sprang out on them and robbed them. That was the business of these nobility bestowing ancestors. And my Lord Cardinal is not satisfied until he can trace his ancestry to one of these. In India, on the other hand, the greatest princes seek to trace their descent to some ancient sage who, dressed in a bit of loincloth, lived in a forest, eating roots and studying the Vedas. It is there that the Indian prince goes to trace his ancestry. You are of the high caste when you can trace your ancestry to a rishi and not otherwise. Our ideal of high birth, therefore, is different from that of others. Our ideal is the Brahmin of spiritual culture and renunciation. By the Brahmin ideal, what do I mean? I mean the ideal Brahminness in which worldliness is altogether absent and true wisdom is abundantly present. That is the ideal of the Hindu race. Have you not heard how it is declared that he, the Brahmin, is not amenable to the law, that he has no law, that he is not governed by the kings, and that his body cannot be hurt? That is perfectly true. Do not understand it in the light thrown upon it by interested and ignorant fools, but understand it in the light of the true and original Vedantic conception. If the Brahmin is he who has killed all selfishness and who lives and works to acquire and propagate wisdom and the power of love, if a country is altogether inhabited by such Brahmins, by men and women who are spiritual and moral and good, it is strange to think of that country as being above and beyond all law. What police, what military are necessary to govern them? Why should anyone govern them at all? Why should they live under a government? They are good and noble, and they are men of God. These are our ideal Brahmins. And we read that in the Satya Yuga, there was only one caste, and that was the Brahmin. We read in the Mahabharata that the whole world was in the beginning peopled with Brahmins, and that as they began to degenerate, they began to be divided into different castes. And that when the cycle turns round, they will all go back to that Brahmanical origin. This cycle is turning round now, and I shall draw your attention to this fact. Therefore, our solution of caste question is not degrading those who are already higher up, is not running amok through food and drink, is not jumping out of our own limits in order to have more sense enjoyment, but it comes by every one of us fulfilling the dictates of our Vedantic religion, by our attaining spirituality, and by our becoming the ideal Brahmin. There is a law laid on each one of you in this land by your ancestors. Whether you are Aryans or non-Aryans, Rishis or Brahmins, or the very lowest outcasts, the command upon you is the same, that you must progress without stopping, and that from the highest man to the lowest pariah, everyone in this country has to try and become that ideal Brahmin. This Vedantic idea is applicable not only here, but over the whole world. Such is our ideal of caste as bent for raising all humanity slowly and gently towards the realization of that great ideal of the spiritual man who is non-resisting, calm, steady, worshipful, pure, and meditative. In that ideal, there is God.